Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing twin flame Q&A. What happens when you lose connection with your twin? Watch this video. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are Life After Union, two twin flames in union. We make these weekly videos for you to help you through your path on the union bandwagon and to help you in your spiritual awakening journey. So today we are doing twin flame Q&A. We are answering your questions. This question came in from a subscriber asking about what happens, or what does it mean? What is the significance of when you lose that kind of psychic connection with your twin? You no longer feel them. You're not seeing any signs and synchronicities. You're not, really feeling divinely guided at all. Like,
not feeling connected.
Yeah, what does that mean? Does that mean that reunion is not in the cards for you, or does that mean that something else is just going on? So let's start off with the non-twin flame subscriber guy.
Who's that? I mean, sometimes when you have a partner who you feel very connected with, sometimes I feel that when you lose connection with them, it doesn't mean that, you might not come back into union with that person or things won't turn around. Sometimes it might just mean that you're actually just on two different paths. I mean, that even happens sometimes, like with us and being in an actual relationship and being married to each other. Sometimes we might not be fully aligned and feel right there with each other, but that doesn't mean that we're not necessarily connected or that things won't come back to that connection stage. I feel that a lot of the times with those kind of things is, if you're just patient with it and you allow yourself to carry on with your path, if you're meant to come back into that union with that person, that will come about again.
Yeah, that you don't really have to worry about it so much.
Yeah, ultimately, because if you're going to be with that person, if it's meant to be, it will be. It will work its way out. Not to say you're going to be lazy about it and not, make the effort or anything like that, but if it means that you need to carry on working on yourself and on your journey before that stage comes about, then that is a very healthy place to be.
I also think it can be a sign that, like, one of two things. A lot of times when you're going into this dark night of the soul, like you're going into this kind of deeper, almost kind of more depressive, really transformative place. Like, a lot of times you can feel really disconnected from your intuition or from source or spirit. So if this is you and you're losing signs and synchronicities, or you're not experiencing the same amount of the ones that you are used to, ask yourself, am I maybe in a dark night of the soul, right? Am I going through a lot of inner work and inner transformation right now? It also can be, in my perspective, a sign of you needing to turn within and rely on yourself and your own inner voice more. So a lot of times, and this happened to me very severely on my own twin flame journey, because I had so much doubt and I had so much insecurity. I was looking towards astrology. I was looking towards signs and synchronicity. I was looking towards human design. I was looking towards, like any kind of tarot read or like intuitive message I can find. This was like before the YouTube and TikTok tarot readers were a big thing, but I was still looking for those kinds of things. And at a certain point, what ends up happening is the universe actually only is able to reflect back to you what you already believe. So if you don't have any signs or synchronicities coming up, or you are feeling lost and confused and all you're getting is more lost and confused, that's a really good sign to turn inward. And this is a stage that so many twin flames go through, because you have to learn to build that up in yourself and make your voice and yourself so certain that you no longer rely on outside things to tell you what you already know. So I think that's where a lot of twin flames can get caught or get stuck or feel a little bit like, oh crap, am I moving in the wrong direction? When they're actually moving in the right direction. It's just time to learn a new skill on the journey. And sometimes learning a new skill means stepping into unfamiliar territory where you don't have the same results, or you're not getting the same results that you were getting in the previous stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. Sometimes it's just about trusting the journey that you are on, because once you're able to trust within the path that you have chosen for yourself, which is ultimately the path you're always going to be on, and you trust within that, things will fall into place and those things will start to come around and you'll start to see the signs and synchronicities. So a lot of times as well, whatever vibrations you're putting out is what is going to come back to you as well. So in those stages might just be that it's trying to tell you that you need to work more within yourself rather than working towards something else. So we bring it back inwards in order to actually go back outwards again.
Yeah, there's actually an interesting quote that I saw the other day that was like, the opposite of anxiety is not calm, it's trust. And you said trust also. So that's what made me think of it. It's like, this idea that if you have doubt or uncertainty coming in because you're like, oh God, I'm not seeing the signs, I'm not seeing the signs. Again, that's kind of this needy energy that we talk a lot about on this journey. And when you need something, that means you're not already secure within yourself. That means what you're saying to the universe is, I don't already possess this, so I need some sort of outside condition to fill this within me, rather than saying, wait, no, I'm good, I'm perfect the way that I am, I'm whole and complete, I don't need anything outside of myself, and now I can pursue this path from that place, rather than the place of, oh gosh, I need this to make me feel secure.
Yeah, I mean, from me and my experiences that I had in my life, every time I haven't looked to try and find a relationship, is generally when I've ended up being in a relationship. When I've tried to force a relationship, even if I have managed to get one, it's never been very fulfilling and it's never been very long lasting. It just hasn't felt correct. So when you actually allow things to come to you and stop trying to force them into your life, it's when you actually end up receiving things that you actually really need and deserve.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if you are on a place where you feel like, I could use some more support or guidance via spirit, you can always, make that intention known to yourself and to your higher self, and you can always take a moment to be present with yourself and sit and say, okay, universe, I'm really at a loss here. Can you please give me some signs, or can you please show me this? Can you please show me that, to remind me that, oh, I actually am on the right path? Like, you can always ask for help at any point. You just have to keep in mind that your higher self is not going to intervene in your journey without you asking or without your free will. So you have to give that permission in order to get the help that you want. So it's all about setting that intention and being like, okay, I actually really need this right now, or I could really use a sign to remind me that I'm in the right place. And then when that happens, generally you will get what you ask for on this journey.
Yeah, and as well, if you're asking to see a sign, like say for instance, the sign you're looking for is a number 7, what you just need to do is be aware of your surroundings. So if it comes to you, you're able to see it, but not trying to force yourself to see it within everything, because then you're not really allowing things to come to you in a natural kind of way. You're forcing them to happen.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times then you end up actually missing the actual signs that are there and seeing signs that aren't there, which then make you doubt whether they actually are there for you or not, because you kind of force them upon yourself instead of being like, okay, well, I want this, I need to see a number 7 for it, and then just carry on my life. And if something pops up, I'm like, oh, well, there it is, then you move on with it instead of, searching through every single cast number plate that drives past you to try to find a number 7, because then it's not the same. You're not actually allowing it to come to you.
Yeah. And I think that speaks on a deeper topic, which is the ability to be receptive.
Yeah.
And the idea of receptivity versus control or force, and that's kind of what you were getting at. Also is when you're controlling or you're forcing something, you're not in a receptive state, because again, you're kind of in an ego trip, because the ego has a hold of it saying, I need it to be this way, it must happen XYZ, or I must see this, and you almost have that kind of obsessive mentality. Yeah. Whereas if you can let go of that and say, okay, it's all right if I don't see anything today, or if I don't feel supported today, it's okay. Let me be present with myself and what I'm feeling, but let me be also open and receptive to actually receiving. So many times, as you're saying, we miss signs because we actually aren't open to receiving them. We're so caught up in our head and how we think things have to be that we aren't actually open to what's actually coming up in front of us, which is exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you kind of trying to force yourself to see signs, you might be looking in this direction, trying to find something here,
And
but
they're
it could
all
be passing you
here.
right here, right next to you. And this is where you should be looking, and you probably would have been looking if you weren't trying to focus on. So just allowing yourself to just live your life and allow things to come to you, and just continue in a way that feels good and healthy to you in order to progress forward with things. And if you can learn to do that, you will see a lot more signs and synchronicities pop up for you. I mean, this is something that I've noticed since the two of us have been together, because obviously there's a lot of things that I've known about, but you've helped me kind of realize more just by us being with each other, and by allowing them just to be there and just be around it, and be just a more conscious of what your surroundings are. You will start to pick up on them and see them a lot more often.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you remember any of our signs or synchronicities from the time that we were in separation?
Right off the bat right now, I don't, but that just might just be because of my bit of a foggy mind at the moment.
So
I know you definitely remember a lot.
I remember you would always say in your voice notes something about things blooming, and you would say things about the relationship blooming and blossoming. And so like the term bloom or blossom, I actually saw this when I was in a restaurant. Of all the places, I had went to a restaurant with a friend of mine, and it was like a new restaurant. Neither of us had been there before, and we like look up, and there was writing all over and pictures all over the ceiling, and I look up, and right above me was like the word blossom with like a flower. And I was like, no freaking way am I sitting literally right under this thing. And then it made me think of you. And then also I think for me, I don't know why this is, but diamonds were like a huge thing for me in our separation. And I always had all these energy readers talking about diamonds, or Lee Harris talking about diamonds and crystalline energy. And and then I hear different twin flame energy readers talking about the diamond children and the crystal children. And so sometimes I wonder if that was like always a Claire synchronicity. It's like us coming together created this kind of diamond child or this crystal child, which are supposed to be now walking the earth. So sometimes I wonder if that's also a thing.
That's quite crazy.
Yeah. And then anytime I would see anything having to do with coffee, because I met you in Coffee Bay. When I would see, like, it was so strange that when I would see the word coffee on a sign, it would almost be like it was standing out to me like in neon or something like that. Like it didn't have to be lit up at all. It was just like coffee. And it was like one of those, like, when you see the angel lights come down on it, it goes like, ha. And it was always like, that was like how I felt when I saw the word coffee. And it was always because like I knew it had to do with you. So that's a few just right off the bat. So in our group program, we just did a call last week where we did a soul retrieval, and we created our language with the universe to help with these signs and synchronicities. So this is one of the foundational things that we do in our program. And so we did this live soul retrieval meditation together. And what I wanted to ask you is, did you have any signs or synchronicities that you saw this week based on that meditation?
In all complete fairness, with the fact that I've been sick for a couple of days, my head has been foggy. I have not seen very many. I mean, I had the one that I can recall straight off the bat is one that actually happened during the call when we were actually wrapping up, and what I saw was 710, and when we were wrapping up, it was 7:10 in the evening for our time. But since then, because my head's been very foggy and because I've been a little bit sick, I haven't actually been capable of being aware of a lot of the things happening around me. So I unfortunately I have to say no to that one.
Yeah, one of the girls in our group, crazy synchronicity, literally like probably hours after the meditation, she had some gears as her synchronicity, or no, as one of her things in the meditation. And then she literally saw gears in real life as like a toys in a toy section of a store. So like how crazy is that that just happened to be in her meditation, and then she saw that hours later at a store. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, signs and synchronicities are an interesting one because a lot of times it has to do with you are the one making the translation at the end of the day, right? And you're the ones creating the meaning of the things that you see. So when you see a sign in synchronicity, one of the most important things you can do is to ask yourself, what was I thinking of moments before seeing that? Or when I see this sign in synchronicity, how does it make me feel? And that will tell you way more about what that sign in synchronicity means to you personally than Google can ever tell you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, put them down below. What do you want to see next? And if you're looking for more support, please sign up to our group coaching if you'd like to be in a container of aligned twin flames, working through the same blockages, the same wounds as you, doing it all together with strong, powerful, transformative group intention. We are now taking applications for our March 2025.
Woo.
Yeah, super exciting.
Exciting.
Our next group. So you are more than welcome to get on the waitlist or apply down below. And if you're looking for more one-on-one support, check the links down below. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here today. Big love.
Bye.
Bye.